How's it going, everybody? Wes Davies here. Welcome back to another video. In this one, I want to talk about the 5 top things that all foreigners need to know, or at the very least should know, before coming to Taiwan. So these are things that I myself have learned over the years. I didn't learn them all right away, but I think they are very, very important and useful for foreigners living in Taiwan. And not only foreigners, but maybe Taiwanese could enjoy some of these benefits of living in Taiwan as well. So before I get attacked by monkeys, let's go and get this video started. So the first tip that I want to share with you is arguably one of the most important tips I'm going to share with you today. Because in this tip, you can actually earn money for doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, I know that sounds counterintuitive. How can you earn money doing absolutely nothing? But what a lot of people might not know when they first come to Taiwan, that each one of your receipts is actually a lottery ticket. Let me explain what that means. So yes, believe it or not, every single time you purchase something in Taiwan, you will get a receipt. These are the 2 main kinds, the old paper versions and then the new fancy barcode, QR code versions of the receipts. Every receipt, as I said, has the barcode or a specific lottery number here at the top, and you can use those numbers because once every 2 months here in Taiwan, they will run a nationwide receipt lottery. I personally have never heard of any other country in the entire world doing anything like this. I think it's such a unique system here in Taiwan, and from what I hear, it's supposed to kind of keep all the businesses above board tax-wise. So maybe in the past there were issues with shops and stores not really doing proper accounting, I would say, you know, trying to save money on their taxes, not reporting all of their income. So the idea was that if the government released some kind of lottery system like this, it will encourage all the customers to demand that they actually get a receipt for their purchases. Now here is my pro tip in this area. When I first came to Taiwan, these were the only options of receipts, and you had to have like a huge bag full of receipts that you saved for 2 months, and then you would have to sit there with the winning numbers in your hand and literally manually check all of the numbers of your receipts. But now we live in the 21st century, they have an app for that. So I'm not quite sure the name of the app, but you just click that, it'll show your own personal barcode. So whenever they're about to give you the receipt, you can actually just give them this barcode, they will scan it, and that receipt will actually go right into your phone. You do not have to worry about it ever again. And then once every 2 months, they will literally let you know which of your receipts were winners, how much money you got, and best of all, that money will go directly into your bank account. I can see here that there was a receipt lottery last month. Let's see how much I won. Boom! Just like that, you can see I got 200 NT. So yeah, it's not a whole lot of money usually, but I just love that system, and I love that you can do that with the app. So for all you foreigners coming to Taiwan, do not throw out your receipts. I know a lot of people who don't even bother with that, but now with the app it's so easy. So go ahead, download the app, and hopefully you will be the winner of the grand prize of $10 million. You could almost buy a house with that if you are one of the lucky winners of the receipt lottery. The next piece of advice I would give for new foreigners coming into Taiwan is do not wait, do not hesitate, get yourself a vehicle. So I know living in Taiwan, some of my best memories here on this island have been those weekends or trips that I've taken on my scooter. I love driving out on the open road. I've done a Huandao of Taiwan, which means you drive around the entire island of Taiwan. It took me about 2 weeks, and for me, that was one of the best trips of my whole life. I have fond memories of driving all around Taiwan, especially on the east coast, where you're driving right beside that beautiful blue ocean. Everything is just so spectacular, and I did the trip solo, so I just remember driving on my scooter. I had no distractions, I could listen to some music as I drove, and I took probably some of the best footage I've ever taken in Taiwan on that trip. So even if you move to Taipei, I hear a lot of people in Taipei, they don't even bother to get a scooter because, you know, they have the MRT system up there, great public transportation in Taipei, but then you ask them, oh, you've been in Taiwan for 2 years and you've never been to Hualien or if you have been to Hualien and you had to take a bus and you never really drive outside of the city of Taipei. So I do hear that a lot, and I think that's a real shame, because driving in Taiwan, especially along the coastlines or deep into the mountains, you're going to see things on your scooter or a car, if you happen to have a car, that you will never get to see if you're just taking public transportation. I know Taiwan gets kind of lauded for its great public transportation system, but what if I want to go deep into the mountains? I don't think there are too many public buses that are going to go up those winding roads. So yes, Taiwan does have great public transportation, but you will enjoy your experience here so much more if you go out, get yourself a scooter license first of all, and then get yourself a scooter or motorcycle or car, whatever you want, but that is how to see the real Taiwan, in my opinion. And for this next segment, we have to go outside, so let's go. So the next thing on my list, one of the things I absolutely love about Taiwan, and something that every foreigner needs to know, is how to file your taxes. So every year, from May 1st to May 31st, you just have to come down to the tax office of your city, and it's honestly the easiest thing in the entire world. Taiwan is full of bureaucracy. Sometimes it's really difficult to get what you want at banks, or applying for new ARCs, things like that. It can be a little bit annoying, but what is not annoying is getting your tax refund. It is so easy. You just show up here, you follow the signs, you follow the little arrows on the floor, and you just have to bring, I think, your ARC or APRC, your health card, and your bank book. Just follow the steps. The ladies there are very, very helpful. They will show you exactly what to do, and you just sit down with them for a couple of minutes. They type a few things into the computer, and honestly, bam, you're finished. Just like that. In Canada, it's honestly something that we kind of dread every year because we have to do it ourselves. There's no friendly government lady that helps us through everything. We have to file our own taxes, and it can honestly be a bit of a nightmare, and it's very easy to make a mistake. Tax season in Taiwan is not only easy, but actually often I do get a tax rebate. I get money back, because most foreigners, the first 6 months of the year, you pay, I think, 18% tax, and then later on, after 6 months, it drops down to 5%. Basically, you get the difference back between 18 and 5%. That's going to be your tax refund. So there you have it. Getting your taxes done and filed in Taiwan is so easy. I complained about how difficult that can be in Canada, and that's true. And here I am in Taiwan. That took, 30 minutes? And most of that was driving. I mean, once you're actually in the building, you can get it done in a few minutes. So that's a great system. Super easy to do. I'll put some links down below about how you can find your personal tax office depending on which city you live. Keep in mind that you have to do your taxes in May. So they give you 1 whole month to get that done. So make sure you figure all that out yourself, but don't worry, it is not difficult at all. Good luck. So my next piece of advice that I wish I knew before I came to Taiwan is get your APRC as early and as soon as possible. So to get your APRC, you have to live in Taiwan for a total of 5 years, spending 6 months of each year in Taiwan, 183 days per year in Taiwan. And then you can attain your APRC, your Alien Permanent Residence status. So I know some horror stories from my friends. They wanted to get their APRC, but for whatever reason, they had to go back home. For example, they had to go back home to Canada for a year or something like that. And then when they come back to Taiwan, all of your previous time spent in Taiwan is nullified, and you have to start over from day one. I know for me and a lot of other foreigners, once you get that APRC card, you are so relieved, because you don't have to rely on a school or a job to sponsor your ARC. Now you are basically just sponsored by yourself. As a permanent resident, you have access to so many benefits that ARC holders do not have. For example, now that I have my APRC, I could literally start my own restaurant or open a night market stand if I wanted to. I can teach whenever and wherever I want. I don't have to be tethered to the school that is sponsoring my ARC. I know that was a little bit difficult for me because oftentimes I wanted to do private teaching and private tutoring outside of my English cram school, and technically by Taiwan law, that is illegal. And most foreigners choose not to make that extra money, not to teach those extra private tutoring classes because it's against the law. So now that I have my APRC, I do not have to worry about any of that at all. So I know it's not something you can do right away when you come to Taiwan, but make sure once that timer starts on day one when you arrive in Taiwan, try not to let that lapse. So try to stay in Taiwan for 183 days per year for 5 years without having to restart your timer. Here's another tip for those coming to Taiwan for the first time. Don't stress out about how to pay all your bills. I know in Canada, at least for me, sometimes paying the bills is a little bit tricky. You have to call the bill company, set everything up with your home bank account. You have to give them the routing numbers, your account numbers, talk to them on the phone. Even in Canada, when you speak the language, it can be a little bit daunting. And in Taiwan, I couldn't imagine having to do that by myself with my limited Mandarin skills. You know, having to set up your bank account for each bill, and if anything goes wrong, calling customer service. You do not have to worry about any of that in Taiwan, because here you can pay all of your bills right at your local 7-Eleven. How easy is that? So right here, this is my electricity bill for the month. They bill it once every 2 months. And I'm not gonna tell you how much it is. It's a lot. You know, I run the AC quite a bit in the summertime when it gets hot, so unfortunately your bills are gonna go up, but that's neither here nor there, because see these handy little barcodes right there? Just show this to your 7-Eleven worker. They will scan all the barcodes, you give them cash, and boom, just like that, your bills are paid. And we can pay any parking tickets, parking fines, and even speeding tickets at 7-Eleven as well. Very, very easy, convenient. Okay, lastly, this one is for those picky eaters out there. I know a lot of my foreigner friends, they say, oh no, I don't eat pig ear, I don't eat intestine, I don't eat, you know, all this gloopy soup that you guys have in Taiwan, which I happen to like, but they have a lot of eating restrictions, no chicken feet, no chicken hearts, no pork liver, all that stuff that I personally love, no stinky tofu, you know, but a lot of foreigners who come here, they're definitely not going to be used to that Taiwanese food, all the specialty cuisine that we know and love here in Taiwan. You know, they'll ask me, I have no idea where to eat, I don't want anything weird in my food, all the menus are in Chinese, I don't know how to order, so I have a pro tip for you in this category, and that is to go and find the special Taiwan cafeteria style restaurants. I personally love these restaurants because everything is laid out for you right there. You can literally see all of the food that the restaurant is offering. Usually they'll have a bunch of vegetables, a bunch of different kinds of meat, eggs, fish, whatever you want. You can just go there and you can pick and choose exactly what you want to eat, and you can look at the food before you get it and you know exactly what you're getting. You will guaranteed be able to find whatever you are looking for. So that would be a huge piece of advice to all those picky eater foreigners out there who may have not dipped their toes yet into the Taiwanese cuisine world. You can just go to those cafeterias. You'll often find them, you know, on street corners, every couple of blocks, they're everywhere. And you can go and pick and choose all of the foods that make you feel comfortable and that you want to eat, because honestly, the food there is really, really good. So there you have it, everybody. That was the video. I hope that this information is useful, especially for those foreigners who are just arriving into Taiwan, and maybe it's entertaining for Taiwanese audience as well. Sometimes maybe they might not know, you know, some of the trials and tribulations and hoops that foreigners have to jump through in order to have a comfortable life here when we first arrive in Taiwan. So everybody, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, check the description below. I'll give some information about some of the things I talked about, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Goodbye.